I am Christine Michelle, and I am a 20-year corporate marketing veteran. I have worked for both the Coca-Cola company and I have also worked for Victoria's Secret in marketing. And I have had my own successful online business for over 10 years. And the reason why I've been able to be successful is because I use a lot of the marketing guidance that I had in my own corporate career with my online business, but I do it in a feminine, flowy way. What I do is I combine a lot of the feminine magic with the masculine structure, and I bring those two in harmony. What I want to talk about is pain point marketing versus versus desire-based marketing. And so those of you who have an online business, I'm sure you've heard of pain point marketing. This is where we focus on the challenges, whatever the client is going through, and we focus on talking about that to draw up some emotion and show them why our product, our service, our thing, our wear, whatever we have is the thing that they get to say yes to. And then now there's been a little bit of a, it's more from the feminine energy space. We talk about desire-based marketing. But if we go back, it's not just the feminine energy space, it's more of a luxury good selling point as well. And this is for me when I worked in beauty industry, more of the luxury business, luxury goods are more of a desire-based marketing approach. The pain part marketing approach is more for a mass audience. And so your desire base is where the focus is on where the client wants to go, what they would want in their life. Like, what is your product going to help them to do? And when you can paint that picture of what they're going to create in their life, that's when you'll call in a client that's ready to say yes and ready to move. Pain point marketing is a little different sometimes. Pain point marketing, when you're focusing on the negative in a certain way, I'm going to show you how to do pain point marketing in a way that doesn't bring the client down and beat them into where they are and not make them want to move. Because a lot of times with pain point marketing, people are buying to run away from something. And that's not necessarily the direction we want to go. We would rather have somebody because they're moving towards something. And so I have a couple of examples of how this would look in like a coaching industry if you were to use pain point marketing versus desire-based marketing. So one of the things that you get to know is that it is your choice. Pain point marketing will work just like desire-based marketing will work. What you get to understand is who is your client, because when you can get clear on who your client is, where they are, and how they like to buy, it makes it so much easier. So when I think about my client, I think about the way I like to buy. I buy from a more expansive place. I mean, I'm the vibration lifter, energy shifter, right? So if somebody keeps like jigging at me pain points, I'm not necessarily going to buy because I don't buy from pain. I buy from an expanded place. So for me, desire-based marketing plays because that is more of the client that I'm calling in, and they're probably going to buy it similar to me. However, if you have, I have a client and she's gone from 0 to 600,000 over 2 years in her business. She has this beautiful money mindset and she's creating a membership, but it's a low cost membership. It's for $33 a month. And so when I looked at her sales page, there are a lot of pain points in there, right? There's a lot of things like talking about like their relationship with money. They need to improve it. They want to do some things. And so what I told her is because it's a $33 a month membership, the pain point marketing is probably going to the right crowd. It's more of a mass product. The masses still going to buy it. And I also told her to add some desire-based things so that she isn't attracting someone who doesn't have the money and wants it, but they can't afford it. Because there were some things about you're struggling with money, you're doing some things like, ugh. And so I asked her, I said, could you add some statements that are like, you $33 a month for a membership that's going to help rewire your and make your money relationship amazing is a no-brainer for you. Do you see how that attracts a different client, even though you're talking about some pain points? I also told her to add, you're so ready to go, you're ready to make these changes, you're ready to redefine your relationship with money. Do you see how like she still could have those pain points because it's more of a mass kind of thing, but she's still calling in someone who's ready to move, ready to go, and doesn't need a lot of hand holding, because this is a membership. This is hands off type membership where she goes live and then she's also going to answer questions. She's not like going to be coaching them and holding their hand. So she doesn't need people that are trying to come in that need hand holding. And so do you see how like she's able to use a mixture of pain point and she's using a mixture of desire, but the desire based ones, she's putting those as a focus so she can draw in people that are ready to move and ready to buy. Okay. So one of the big things that I noticed, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I was a marketing executive for Coca-Cola company. I mean, how much more positive can you get? You know, it was, you know, when you pop the bottle and everybody's singing, we like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. That has nothing to do with a bottle of Coke, but it's a positive thing. And it made people feel like, oh, when I buy Coke, I'm bringing the world together, right? I know there's a lot of different things about Coca-Cola, but I'm just talking to you about big marketing and how people can be, they're attracted by a vision, they're attracted by a movement. Nobody said you're thirsty, that's why you need a Coke, right? Because Coke, while it is a mass product, it's really a luxury item. Nobody really needs a Coke. Nobody needs one. You don't need that to survive, right? Right? Okay. So when I thought about when I came into this industry, and I totally forgot about all of my 20 plus years of marketing experience because I saw so many people saying, you need to do it this way, you need to do it this way, you need to do it this way. And I went too far to, the pain part, marketing part. And I noticed that I was attracting people who needed hand holding and weren't ready to buy. And the people that were ready to buy, they needed a lot of information. It wasn't the right crowd. And so when I pulled myself back and I said, okay, who buys coaching? That's a luxury item. Coaching is, nobody needs coaching. None of y'all need coaching. It's something that's going to help you move faster. It's something that's going to help you in your business. It's a business expense. Or if it's something for your heart, to find love, it's really something that you don't need. It's something you desire. And so I said, well, I would like people that are, ready to move, people who are excited about this transformation, who are aware of what they need, and they want to be told a vision of what is possible. Well, if you're talking about, well, you don't have any money, and I know this is really hard for you, and it's going to be hard to show up, then who are you going to attract? You're going to attract the people that it's hard to show up. They're not going to, have any money, and they're going to be like, I want to work with you, but I don't have the money, right? And so I had to shift, and I'm talking about this in Content Alchemy, which starts on Thursday. You've got to shift the way you're talking to people, and you've got to assume that your audience is smart, and you got to assume that they're ready. And the people that you are talking to that are ready, they will jump in. And the people who aren't ready right now, they're going to watch. And when they're ready, they'll jump in. So what if you could trust that your audience was smart and they will make the move when it's time? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Give me some ones in the comments if you're feeling what I'm feeling. So I'm not saying pain point marketing is bad, and I'm not saying desire marketing is the only way to go, because I'm not one of those people that's going to say it's black or white. But I'm saying you look at your product, look at your service, look at who you want to come in, and you can start to mold in some of the pain point marketing themes. Okay, I'm going to read you because I wrote this really good example. And this is for all the ladies who love to say, I don't do business coaching, but I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. So if you have, this is one of my great examples. And I'm going to give you another example for done for you guys, because I have a client that does done for you. And we shifted the client that's coming in, and she saw results near immediately once she started doing this. So I'm going to give you that example, but hold on. I'm going to give you the one that I wrote. So let's say you're a mentor that helps clients to find the love of their life. You're the mentor that helps them find the love of their life, right? Anybody knows people that do that? If you do, put some ones in the comments. Show me. Okay. So I could write, and let me feel into your body and how this feels. You feel so lonely. And it's going to be somebody who's trying to find the love of their life after a loss. So I picked a sad thing, like something that they have. They're ready to find the love of their life because they just lost their love. And it's been a year, right? So they're ready to start dating again. All right. So this is something that you would think you got to go into the pain for, right? Let me know if you're picking up what I put down. Okay. So it's like you feel so lonely now that your partner has transitioned. You don't think you're ready, and wonder if it's even worth investing time and money in. It's so important though. I help you heal grief so you can meet your next partner. And through my process, you will XXXXXXXX. So you feel that? That is the pain part marketing way. Okay. That would be pain part marketing. Now, this is what you would do. And this is the way that you would attract that client that's one, ready to go, credit card in hand, and it's going to do the work. Okay. Now is the time. It's been 1 year since your partner transitioned, and you feel the call to get yourself back out there. You feel me? You're feeling this, right? The client, you say, my client was in a similar place 5 months ago. She wanted she wanted to love, but she thought that she couldn't put herself out there because 1 minute she was open and the next minute she was on her knees crying. So you see how, like, I talked about my client not making the client who's reading it feel sad, but letting them hear a story about how I know how to deal with that and that I understand how they feel. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. So then you say, that was until I helped her see that she was experiencing what was normal. And through my grief integration magic, we shifted her emotional awareness level. And now she's 3 months into a relationship with a man who supports her in the moments of happiness and grief. Now, do you see how, like, I'm talking to the woman who's ready, who's going to do the work, and who's looking for a man that's going to support her in her happiness and grief? And so do you see how, like, that was desire based? Not only did I address some of the pain points, but I didn't make it feel like I was pain pointing her. Like, I didn't want the person that's reading it to go back in their circle and feel like, I don't know if I'm ready. So I put it in a story so that they could hear the story, read the story, and decide, oh my goodness, I want to go through that grief integration magic too. So when I talk about desire-based marketing, I am not saying that you never talk about the pain that they're suffering or the things that they're experiencing. Just don't aim it at them. Let them see and read a person who's also experiencing that. And then you tell them where they get to go. You show them what's possible. And you tell them, you're ready. You're ready to do the work. You're ready. You've been looking for a mentor that does this. And now you found her. So you see how one is going to call a client that is not sure she's ready, that's not sure she's ready to pay. The other is going to call a client who knows she's ready, who's ready to do the work, and now sees that you've worked with someone who you have helped find the love of their life. She's down, and she knows she doesn't need to be perfect, can't, she doesn't have to question whether she's ready. She doesn't have to do any of that. This is where the power of desire-based marketing comes, when you can also connect with story and you can connect with that client. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So when I said facetiously, let's talk pain point marketing and which one is going to make you the most money, it's not one or the other. I'm giving you permission to get clear and look at your audience and say, okay, what is this? Like, I have 3 things that I sell. So I have a low cost membership. I have the Queen's Court, which is a little bit of a higher cost. And then I have my Legend Mastermind. Legend Mastermind is going to be focused on desire based, right? It's a higher level. You're paying per month, plus there's a revenue share. So it's a significant investment for people. They're ready to go. They're ready to have a multi 6-figure business. That's the purpose. So it's going to be more desire based marketing. Yes, I'm going to talk about where they are right now, but it's going to be desire based. But when I talk about the Be Collective, you're going to see that I might bring out some pain points, because it's for people that are going to be in the beginning stages of their business, or they're going to want, maybe they have a business, they just want to shift it. They want to get some foundational pieces. They want to get something. So I'm probably going to bring some pain points in there, because that is it's $97 a month. Hello, Shara. How are you? So it's not that pain point marketing works better than desire-based marketing or anything like that. You'll get to know your audience. No, is this a luxury product, or is this a mass-based product? Is there, who am I talking to and who do I want to call in? And the clearer you get on that, I'm telling you, you are going to start to see different people come in. So I'll tell you the story that I teased. I have a client. She is a done-for-you service provider. She does copy. Okay. And for the copy that she writes, she wants to attract multi 6 and 7-figure people. But she had so much pain in there. You're tired. You want to give up some of the things that you're writing. It's like, I'm reading that. I was like, you're trying to attract me, but I'm not reading that, girl. I said, the people that are at 6 and 7 figures, they're good at writing. They know they're damn good. You know what their challenge is? They don't know if somebody can get their voice. They don't know if they can trust. They built this audience of people that know how they speak. They want to make sure that the right people are going to be writing their content and can attract their audience the same way they've been. Yes, you said not a vibrational match. And so she shifted it. She started to say, you're making 7 figures. You're so good at writing. You're ready to pass this along. And then she started talking about the one that wants to travel. So what's important in your content is that you start to get specific. And the way you can get specific is by knowing your audience. And so she's thinking, okay, the 7-figure woman that I'm talking to is going to be traveling the world, or desires to travel the world, and doesn't want to have to do post every day and write her emails for a list. And so she's like, imagine being able to travel the world and have your marketing already planned and done. Imagine just being able to press approve and then get your team to put it in an email. Doesn't that make you credit card in hand? Because you don't want to say, oh, you don't have any money. No, the 6 and 7-figure person that she's going to, they're wealthy, they're fine. And so what she gets to talk to is, you're ready to pass this along. You just want to make sure you're giving this to the person who can capture your voice, and where your audience has no clue you didn't write it, right? You've got more than enough money. You're ready. She started to also give her pay in full amount and then the payment plan amount, because most of these people are going to come and they're just going to pay her in full for what she's doing. And guess what? She got somebody came in, they were like, I want it. So yes, you want to be a vibrational match to the audience. And so even when I'm thinking about my Be Collective, there's a certain vibration I want in there. And so I'm not going to kill it on the pain part. No, because I want people that are coming to move. I want them to know that they're ready to move. I want to call forth the people that are ready to do the things in their business to shift and change, and they're ready to make the money. They're ready to do the things. They're going to ask the questions and go and implement. And so the things that I'm going to write, I'm going to mention that. You're ready to implement. You're ready to do the things. You just want to know what to do. You want to know how to combine manifestation in creating a successful business. So do you see? And then I might say, and you've been trying this a lot. You've been going to all the places, yet you haven't found the thing, right? You haven't found what's going to really help you. This is a place that can not only bring in your energetics, but also going to bring in the strategy, and you can do it together, right? So it did get a little bit of pain, but I'm not beating into it. But again, that's not the audience I want to attract, because that's not how I buy. When I bought my Tesla, I didn't need anybody telling me, oh, well, you don't want gas because gas is so expensive. No, I already knew that I wanted an electric car, and I knew that I wanted it to be a great driving experience. And it was a great buying experience, because no one was on my back telling me this is what you need and a Tesla's so good and this is how you negotiate. There's no negotiation. You go in, you test drive it, you decide, you put a down payment. Then 45 days later, you go ahead and do the financing. And then 45 days after that, you go pick up the car. It was so easy. And that's the way I like to buy. So we're talking about pain point marketing versus desire-based marketing. Which one's going to make you the most money? It's not about the type of marketing that's going to make you the most money. What's going to make you the most money is knowing your client, having clarity on who that person is and what they want in their life and what their desires are and how your product, service, your whatever you have is going to get them there. When you are so crystal clear on that, then you can get so specific about who they are and what they're experiencing and what situations they're having. And then you can write in your marketing specifics that are going to draw them out and be like, wow, she's talking to me and she's speaking in my language, not coach speak, not product service person speak. She's speaking in my language. So is one better than the other? It's about vibrational match. It's about you understanding the client that you want to attract. It's about who do you want to work with. Like I said, when I was in the pain point, I was attracting people that weren't moving, that weren't doing the things they needed to do. They just, I love them to death, but I was like, I had to feel like I was picking them up and holding them with my hands and being like, there's what you need to do. Hello, back twice in one day. So I shifted from that and started to speak to the people who are ready to move, ready to do the things, ready to integrate, ready for this. They're so excited. They are on the cusp of a breakthrough. They know they're right there. And that calls the person that says yes. And even the person who may not be there, they're like, I want to be there. I want that. And so I don't think you're alienating the people because you're not talking specifically and building on the pain. You can build like a future vision that is showing them where they can go. And you can totally shift their whole world and they would step up into that. What's the vibrational frequency of what you're bringing them into? Make it a match and they're going to have credit card in hand and say yes. We're going to go through this in Content Alchemy. I'm so excited about Content Alchemy. It was going to be just for Queen's Court girls, ladies. And I decided to like give it to everybody because it's so simple. The things that you're going to do is so simple. But I felt like when I knew that I needed to do this, I'm more of I like to put things out in an order and I like to break it down in small steps so that I can say, oh, this is what I need to understand. Oh, and then if I can break down and give myself some examples, then I can easily write this content and it'll be so easy to talk to this person. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to have 3 classes where we're like teaching, right? And you're taking notes, and 2 workshops that are good. I mean, I've spanned it for 2 hours. And this is where you're going to bring your content. You're going to bring who your client is and who you want to talk to. And I will look at your content and I am going to give you feedback on different language, different words, different languaging that you can do. Because sometimes I write my stuff and then I walk away from it because it's been so conditioned for us to look at pain and look at some things. And it's so conditioned that sometimes it's just the way you write. And so I have to walk away from it for a little bit and then come back with a fresh eye so that I can say, okay, where am I convincing? No more convincing. You don't need to convince people that are already ready. Where am I validating that it's hard and that they're poor? I know we don't want to validate that. We want people that are ready to go, right? And then where am I trying to prove myself? Like over prove instead of being the expert and knowing that I'm an expert. Where am I trying to prove that I'm the expert? All of that energy will push away the clients who are ready to say yes, because the energy will feel not clean. It'll feel off. And so having someone to look at that and help you shift some statements and really allow yourself to fully show up in the energetic vibration that is equal to the client that you want will make all of the difference. Like I said, my client did that in her Done For You, had clients in her DMs. They used to say, oh my goodness, you're on my vision board. I wanted to work with you. I've been wanting to work with you for so long. And now they were like, I'm ready to go. She had so many people that like, you're on my vision board, but I'm not ready yet. She kept getting, I'm not ready yet. And I said, it's because you keep talking to people that's not ready. You don't need to convince people. You don't need to make them ready. You don't need to motivate people because they're already ready to go. You just need to show that you have something, you're the next step, and then they get to take the step. Now, I know one of the questions that I get all the time is like, well, nobody in my audience is ready. That's not true. Nobody in your audience is ready because you're not speaking to them. Everybody, there's so many people in your audience that are ready, but you weren't talking to them, so they haven't made themselves known. There are people in your audience. Beth is a designer. She does pants, and they're called Boyo pants. There are people in your audience ready to buy the Boyo pants. You just get to talk to them and say, hey, it's available. It's ready now. So don't, all of the things where you're going to be like, well, no one's in my audience that's ready to buy. Yes, they are. Just talk to them. And it might be quiet for a minute. It may be quiet for a second. And then boom, it'll compound, and all the people are like, oh my goodness, I just sold out. Oh my goodness, I just sold out. That's how quickly it can change when you're talking to the right people. And your content is queen. It's what's going to make you the money. When I shifted it, I had people in my DMs. I had people ready to go. I had the right people that were like asking for the links, because it wasn't people like, I would get people and they would say, oh, give me the link, but I'm not ready yet. Let's see. Tasha says, these shifts are important. People are showing up that I didn't even know I was connected with. That's how quickly it can happen. She didn't know she was connected with it. So for example, let's say you're a done for you copywriter and you have these packages or $7,000 packages, $2,500 packages, people that are going to want to pay $1,000 for a project. Yet you're talking to people and trying to convince them that copywriting is the thing to do. You don't need to write your stuff. You're supposed to, no, you want to talk to people that already know they're ready to transition this. They're looking for a copywriter. They're ready for somebody that's going to match their voice. That's who you want to talk to. And you might get all of the recommendations and then people come to your profile. But if you're not calling them and you're not talking to the people, then what happens? You're not talking to the right people and they just leave your profile and they go to someone else who's talking to them. So that's why I want you to get clear on who is your client. What's the purpose? If it is a mass product, go ahead, do the pain points, but also think about who you're calling in. Put a couple of desires in there. Call forth the people that are ready. Call forth the people that have money. Those are 2 pain points I never want you to use. Do not use anybody. Don't talk about them being broke and don't talk about them not being ready. Listen, you can talk about other pain. I don't care, but do not talk about those 2 because no one's going to buy and they're not going to move. You don't that. Trust me. Learn from my mistakes. You don't want to do that, y'all. So does anybody have any questions or bring some up? Because it's like, I'm going to repeat this again. It's not that pain point marketing is better or that desire-based marketing is better. It's about knowing your audience and knowing who you're speaking to. So if it's a mass product, yes, hello, insurance exam queen. If it's a mass product, go ahead. You can put some pain points in there because that's going to probably be someone that's going to be drawn to that, right? And so when I say a mass product, it's probably something under $100. It could be a membership. Like I said, with the Be Collective, I'll put a couple of pain points in there, but I know the people that I want to vibrationally bring into that container and I know how I want them to move. So even if it's a money course, even if it's something where we're going to improve, I would talk about improving your money mindset, allowing you to make more money than you are even making now, right? I'm not saying you're so broke you don't have anything. No, because then they can't pay for their membership and then they're defaulting. We want it to be, it's a no-brainer to invest $33 in yourself because you're going to make so much shifts in your money mindset. Do you see? And so it's so important for you to know your audience. That's the most important thing. Know your audience. When you know your audience, you are speaking their language. You get to speak in specificity and they feel like you're talking to them and it's ready time for them to pull out their credit card. It's time to go. And like I said, we're going to talk about this all in detail in Content Alchemy, which starts on Thursday. Thursday is the first class. Friday is the first workshop where you get my eyes on your content. It's going to be good. So good. It's so good. And then we have another workshop that's going to be on Friday. It's over the course of 3 weeks, 5 classes. It's not going to take a ton of your time, but it will make you a ton of money after you start talking to the right person. I'm going to give you tons of examples because I'm a kind of person, put ones in the comments. I need examples. And I'm like, well, how did you, not that it's a formula and you have to do it my way. Not at all. I want you to write in your way. But if I give you a little bit of a formula, so how you can see, okay, this is how it looks when I'm in the paint and I'm attracting someone who's not going to move. And this is how it looks when I have moved and somebody's going to move and say, yes, let's see. Melissa says, your eyes have made me over $500,000 in less than 2 years. Thank you, Melissa. Yes. And your work, you move. That's the difference. So I called in Melissa from an expanded place. And my clients who are the ones who are making 600,000 in 2 years, the ones who had $100,000 days, the ones who had $500,000 quarters. Do you know what something that's similar with them? That's another thing we're going to give you as an exercise is to say, my clients that I loved working with, what's similar? So what's similar with them is that they move. When I talk to them, we talk about an idea, they take it and they run. They don't fight against it. They follow their heart, of course. I'm never overriding their soul, but they say, oh, good idea. Let me go implement. And that's how I am. I was always like that ever since a little girl. If I heard something, I was like, oh, if I change this, it's going to make a difference. I'm gone. I'm about to do it. I'm going to try it. I'm about to implement. It's done. You see? So they move fast. They integrate. They implement. They decide, okay, this is what's going on. This is how I'm going to change. That's how Melissa made 600,000 over the last 2 years. That's how I've had a client who had a $500,000 quarter. She implements, moves, implements, moves, implements, moves, implements. So if I'm writing in my content, I know it's hard. I know you're scared about the recession. And I know you're so tired and exhausted from everything you're doing. Am I going to attract people that are going to move and implement? No. And this goes to my trauma-informed people too. So if you have a trauma-informed certification, let me know if you're on the call and you have a trauma-informed certification, because you might be like, well, how don't I do pain point marketing? I need to attract people that are in pain. And so what I want to tell you is I just had this conversation with one of our Queen's Court ladies in our this came up because of a long conversation that we had in our Telegram chat. And so she was like, pain point marketing makes so much money. And a lot of the examples that she gave were a lot of men, right? I'm not saying that men are great at marketing. They are, but a lot of marketing was created for men, by men, for men who buy. And so I said, well, okay, we know you're talking about trauma. We're talking about some things that come up. I know that. And I said, and let's market it not in a way that trauma certification, trauma certification, trauma certification. Let's market it in, you know, maybe they're finding their purpose and you've got a whole process that's going to help them create a transformation in their clients that is a lasting transformation. Who's signing up for that? I'm going to create a lasting transformation for my clients. And also I can use this on myself and I can go deeper and start to make more space so that I can make more money, find the love of my life, drop the weight, and have the most amazing life of my dreams. Like, who's not signing up for that, y'all? But you don't have to say trauma, you're not trauma informed, and this is why you're not doing this, and blah, blah, blah. No one wants to buy from somebody who is judging them and pointing a finger, and like, no one wants to buy from judgmental people. Like, that's not, I don't want to be in your energy and I'm not buying from you. Let's see. Melissa says pain point is masculine, great for evergreen, simple purpose. Yes, no brainers. Exactly. And like, if it's evergreen, there's so many ways that you can bring in like a lot of the desire, because you want to show them, especially women, you want to show them what they're going to get out of it. Because women, we buy from emotions. And if you're buying from a lower frequency emotion, which no emotions are bad, are you going to do the work? You're going to be scared to do the work. You're not going to be excited to do the work. But if you say, I know you're ready for this breakthrough, you are ready for this evergreen $25 meditation that is going to help you break through. And they're going to be like, yes, I'm ready to break through. I'm ready to listen to this meditation. I'm going to listen to it every day because there's something positive associated with it. And there's a place that they're going to get to. I see Rafaela says, yes, subconscious work. Exactly. And you want to track somebody, like if you're doing subconscious work and you're going to be shifting negative beliefs, instead of talking about limiting beliefs and these are hard and you believe that, you know, you'll never win or you're not going to ever be successful. Oh, no, I'm not buying from that person. But if I say you are at the cusp of a breakthrough, you know that there's just one little thing that when you shift it, it is going to make a difference in your life. Oh, yes. Right? And instead of selling the process, which is subconscious, you know, let's say you're doing neuroplastics work or whatever, and maybe your process, like I said, with the grief, process, you don't have to go into the detail of the process. Nobody cares about the process. Thank you, but we don't care. Just tell me where I'm going to go after this. What is going to happen to me after I experience your program? Because when you explain your process over and over again, nobody wants that either. They're like, okay, thank you. But the buyer wants to know, what is this in it for me? And talk my language. Don't talk like this, like what do you call it, Tasha? Spiritual goobly goop. Nobody wants that because they don't understand it. But if you can say, after we do, I have this amazing process that I've done with so many of my clients, and I'll tell you a story, right? One of my clients came in and she was grieving and she was so ready. I'm going to use that example again. She was so ready for the love of her life, but she had some things that she got to shift. And when we worked together, we were able to go deep, shift it. And now she's attracted the love of her life who supports her in her grief and in her happiness. Who was signing up for that? I know him. Right? So there's just a different way that you get to sell to women. And when we start to remember that we're now women, most of us are selling to women. I know a lot of you guys sell to guys too, but when we start doing it in a way that's going to be better for us, right? When we start doing it in a way that's going to connect us and connect people to their heart, connect them to their vision, connect them to where they want to go. And then you can still use pain point marketing, but you can talk about the struggles, you can talk about the pain, but I suggest you don't aim it at them. Don't say you're tired, you're exhausted, you want to leave. No, 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 no. You say you're ready to go, you're at the cusp of a breakthrough, you're so excited for this change. Let me tell you a story. And then you get to say, there's a story. One of my clients came to me and she was on her knees. And one minute she was happy and joyful, but the next minute she was on her knees, remembering the love of her life. And she knew that it was time for her to find that next new love. She knew that her love who transitioned was telling her to move forward. And she didn't know how to do that. So she came to me and we used my grief implementation magic. And that grief implementation magic attracted her, blah, blah, blah. So do you see how, like, I talked about the pain, I talked about the struggle, I talked about not being ready, I talked about her not knowing what to do, but I didn't make it the client. You are not ready and you don't want to move and you don't know what to do. And this is why you need to. No, 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 no. I'm talking to a client who knows she needs to, and she's just looking for the place that's ready to receive her. So let's not, if you want to use some of the pain points, you want to bring it in a story, bring it in one of your experiences. So like, I don't know if you read some of my marketing, you'll see where I say, ooh, there was a time where, like, if I talk about the mastermind, you guys are going to see the legend mastermind out there. And so there was a time when I joined a mastermind. And so what I'll do is when I joined the mastermind, you know, I was worried because the payments were higher. And I also bought one-to-one at the same time. And I was so nervous about what if my business went up and down and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm not going to say that's what the client is feeling. This person has money, they're ready to go. But I'll say, and I created this new way of payment, including a base plus 10% of your increased revenue. Because one, you know, I know it works. I know working with me is gonna make you a shit ton of money, right, Melissa? Yes, I know, right, Tasha? Yes, right, I know that. And so I will say I created that because that's what we did in consulting. We made sure that we put our money where our mouth is, and we knew that we were going to help these people to make more money in their business when we consulted with them. And so we gave them a base that was lower and then 10% of their income, you know, 10% of the revenue, cash received. So I'll talk about a time when I was scared so that anybody that's reading that post could be nervous about joining a mastermind, but I'm not making it seem like they're worried. I'm telling them a story of how I triumphed from that. So it touches on the pain and it shows the transformation. So what I want you to do, because I know I went a little bit over, but I love this topic and I love talking about marketing. I mean, I was a marketing executive for 20 years, y'all. So I love bringing in, like I said, talked about Coca-Cola, Victoria's Secret. They brought the angel marketing. It wasn't saying your boobs are flat, you need a bra. Like, no, to buy a bra from you. Like, that's why their sales are not doing so well. I'm so sorry. I love that they have this inclusive marketing now. It's great, but I think they should bring the angels in with the inclusive marketing. So it's like, there's some sexiness to it, or make the inclusive marketing super sexy. So they have women of different sizes, super sexy, sex them up, because people wanted Victoria's Secret because it was damn sexy back when I was there. I left, they went, down in the handbasket, but nobody's saying, girl, your boobs are flat, you need to lift them. No, I don't want to buy a bra from you. No, I want you to tell me that I'm going to look amazing and that the man of my dreams is going to see me and just his eyes are going to be like, whoop, right? I want to feel like an angel. I want to feel like I'm strutting down the runway. I want to feel amazing when I'm going by my bra. Right? So when we think about that, none of this stuff that we're selling is necessary. They're not need-based. This is all luxury. Coaching definitely is luxury. And so because it's luxury, nobody, like, you don't want to buy it from pain. Like, oh my God, I've got to escape this pain. Let me buy her thing. Oh, but you want to show them that whatever challenges they're experiencing, this is where we're going to go. This is where you get to go. And you can do that in a more expansive way. So is one better than the other? It depends on your audience. How you use it depends on your audience. And we'll get clarity for that. If you like, join the Content Alchemy. Lauren, drop the links to Content Alchemy. It's on the buy one, because that's the one that has the details for it. We start on Thursday. I cannot wait, because I'm so excited to start seeing people's content and how they're going to be like, more people are in my DMs, or more people clicking my link, or more people already. I'm so excited for Content Alchemy, because it will redirect and get you so much clarity on your product, on your service, on the transformation, but also get you clarity on how the client that you desire to work with, because that's going to be the piece. I'm going to talk about all the clients that you could serve. Well, which one is the one you want? And so, like I said, there are a lot of clients that I could call in for the B Collective, but there's some that I don't want to work with. I love you so much, but I don't want to work with some of those people. Love you, but if you don't want to move, if you don't want to take action, if you don't want to like really do the work, I'm not asking you to come into my group, right? And so you're going to be like, oh, well, this is the type of person that I would like to work with. And when you get clarity on that, that makes your content so easy to write. You'll never not be able to write content. Everybody says, Christine, how do you do all of these videos? And how do you do so much writing? And how do you do all of that? It has nothing to do with human design. I don't even practice that anymore. FYI, it has everything to do with, and nothing's wrong with human design. I just don't practice anymore. It has everything to do with me having clarity on my customer, having clarity on what they want and what they desire, and me knowing what I'm here to bring and what my message is. And that I never run out of content. I can never not know what to write, ever. This will help you create ideas for, you're going to always, and when you live your life and when you are the embodiment of your vision, embodiment of what you create, it's also very easy to create content. And we're going to talk about that in Content Alchemy as well. So Content Alchemy, let me see. I don't know if Lauren was able to get the link. I'm going to get it. Here we go. Content Alchemy. I'm going to put it here. You guys, if you are interested, join Content Alchemy. Click on that link, get in my DMs, ask me questions. If you are here and you are, here we go. I'm going to put that link there. If you are here and let's see, Judy says, I have a hard time thinking of things to say to people in general, yet I have a wealth of knowledge in my head. See, Judy, the big thing is you don't want to be in general. No, but I know what you mean. When you get so specific on, this is what I do, this is a transformation, right? And we can pick one transformation at a time. Who is the person that would experience this transformation? And you start to think, okay, well, what are they experiencing in their life right now? The content will flow. And I want you also to remember that you are a part of that transformation. You embody whatever you're selling or whatever you're sharing, even if it's a physical product. So I talk about Beth has her designs. And then I have another client who has luxury fragrance. She loves her own luxury fragrance. Beth wears her pants every day. I'm like, girl, you are the client. So you get to show every day when you dress up your pants, when you wear them down, when you wear them to work, when you're taking them to the gym or when you're going to yoga, take the picture and talk about it. She's the client. She embodies that, right? So my other client with the luxury fragrance, she wears certain fragrances. She does videos and she's like, today it's spring and I'm going to wear Versailles, Verano Pequeño, because Verano, I'm trying to speak at her BA accent, but she'll say Verano Pequeño is just a light fragrance, blah, blah, blah. And so she's talking about it, basically selling it because she wears it. So Judy, I ask you, what do you do and how have you implemented this in your own life for yourself? You use yourself as the content. As you're living your life, also ask yourself, this is going to be a part of Content Alchemy, but I'll give you guys a sneak peek. Every day, start to say, oh, God, universe, what's something, like, show me some things and give me some ideas on how, like, a lot of this everyday thing that I'm living can play a role in my content or can be a lesson or can be something that I can share with my audience. So do you see how, like, you should never have, when you have clarity on who she is or who they are, you have clarity on what they want and how they want it to be in their life. When you have that kind of clarity, there is no limit to the content that you can create. There's no limit to the subject matter. Like I could go, for example, I have a whole post about self-drive. So I was in my Tesla and I'm using the self-drive and this was before when I first got it. So it's about 2 years ago. And I was thinking about it today because I used the self-drive. And I was like, oh my goodness, I remember when I used to be scared of the self-drive. And I said, it taught me how to let go of, not really let go of the wheel, because you're even in self-drive, you have to hold the wheel, but it taught me how to relax the wheel and allow God, universe, right, to do the driving. And it was so nerve-wracking because not driving your car, right? It's kind of like, and it really taught me surrender. And so I used it to teach myself surrender, and I'm going to use it in my content to teach what surrender looks like and how to let go of control. It takes practice and trust that you're going to be guided and led. But the more that I let the car drive, and because the car, for example, the Tesla turns a little bit quicker, like it turns quicker than I would on a curve because it has the cameras, 8 cameras, and it does it. And so I was like, and then I turn and whenever you hit the wheel and do something different from what it's doing, it says, oh, all right, you go do it. You got it. Right. And so I was like, oh, okay, let me see if I can start to trust it. So I started to lean back. And when a curve was coming, I would be like, okay, I'm going to let go of the wheel a little bit and let it do it. And it was a better driver than me, y'all, way better driver. But I had to lean into that. That's a whole story, a whole teaching, a whole word from driving a car. So this is what's possible for you when you say, I'm going to live my life. I am the niche. I am the transformation. And I have so many examples from dinner to waking up and doing breakfast to maybe my yoga class that I can use that will be in my content that's going to make a difference. But it takes you to be clear about your audience. It takes you to be clear about who's in the audience. It takes you to be clear about their situation, their circumstance, what they're experiencing, what problems, what situations, all getting clear on all of that and where your product or service takes them. When you get clear on that, I'm telling you, it will just change who's coming in your DMs. There's a rumor out there that no one's buying. People are buying. My mentor just had a $2 million month last month. Like it was December. People are buying, but she's talking to the right people. That's all you need to do is change who you're talking to. Melissa says, I'm about to make a ton more money from this alone. It is. And I'm excited for you because Melissa, Insurance Exam Queen, she's starting a membership. It's $33 a month. I gave this as an example in the beginning. So re-listen to this from the beginning. And I told you like how she's going to attract the masses. And there's so much beautiful content she's going to be able to write from this. And she'll be able to do it. She can include some pain points, but she's going to really, like, depending on who she desires to get into that membership, she's going to be able to attract them from desire-based marketing too. So, all right, let's see. Marcy says, I have felt stuck due to not wanting to talk about the pain. No wonder. Exactly. See, so like I said, you can talk about it in a different way. So once you get so clear on your client, who they are, what they really want in their life, where they would love to go, right? Understand where they are in their life. Then what are the stories you have in your own life that can communicate that what the pain they're feeling, but don't make them put them in the pain. And then you start to say, and then I use my process of whatever that is, don't go into detail about the process, but talk about your custom framework or whatever you have that helped you move from this to this. Because like I said, there's nothing wrong with pain point marketing. There's nothing wrong in desire marketing. No one is better than the other, but who are you wanting to talk to? Who do you want in your container? And what's the vibrational match for that person? Make sure your content vibrationally matches the container that they're coming in. And so you can talk to them about the pain or whatever they're experiencing, but don't make be like, you're so tired and you're exhausted and you're a mom and you have no time. You don't want the person who's a mom and that has no time to be like, oh, I don't have any time to be in her thing. Melissa's a new mom. And if I'm talking to new moms, I want to say you are so powerful. You just had this strong baby. and you know that there's other things that you desire to do. And now you are ready to do them. I want to talk to the new mom who just had the baby, but they're also like, I'm ready to get moving. I'm ready to make my move. Is she going to sometimes be tired? Is she sometimes going to bring up that she's wanting to, like, oh, she wants to move, but she's feeling tired? Yes. And we'll do somatic work. We'll do all of that stuff in the container. But I want the one who's in the mindset that I want to move, because that's why you're getting people in your DMs who are ghosting you, or they're not buying because you're talking to the people who aren't ready to move and don't want to buy. Stop talking to them. All right. So that's it. I have talked to you guys so much. Definitely join the Content Alchemy. I'm telling you, it's going to change your world. It's only 5 classes. Really, it's 3 classes and 2 workshops where we are going to go in. You are going to bring your content, and I am going to look at that content and be like, who is your client and who is she? What is she experiencing? And this is not talking to her, or say it this way. And that is going to really get to her heart. You're going to get tons of examples, and you're going to be able to see like how to make your marketing speak to the heart and the soul of the clients that you want. So I'm excited about it. So on that note, I am going to go because I could talk for 7,000 more hours. And I am sending you so much love, so much happiness, and check out Content Alchemy or come into the Queen's Court. Then you get Content Alchemy included. There's many, many ways. DM me if you have any questions. Bye.